Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton with Big C. This is Charlton and Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C and the good old boys down south. I want to say bienvenidos to all of our listeners in Latin America, also across the pond, in London, England, as well as Paris, France. Even want to give a shout out to the Irishmen coming over to Las Vegas tonight, coming to you from the Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada. You know we love you up in Canada, but Big C, there's no one I love more than all the good old boys down south in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Big C, how's it going for you good old boys? Yeah, I tell you, Big C, there's a lot of things happening here in Las Vegas. Kind of muggy here in the area, but a lot of people love the city of Las Vegas on the Strip. Obviously, no one knows I'm supposed to be here, but I got to let the cat out of the bag today. But what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I just want to get right into this. I want to say today is a beautiful August the 25th, 2017, in the land of the free and the home of the brave. I also want to say this segment sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. And when you go by and test drive yours, tell them that Charlton and Big C sent you. In fact, this Escalade's all over the place down here in Las Vegas, Big C. But there's something sinister going on, too. This is not like any other fight. I just want to ask you and get your feeling of what do you think is going on outside of the arena, even when your good old boys down south are paying attention, Big C. Your thoughts? Yeah. 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 Yeah, and a lot of that's gone on because unlike when we had Tyson and Holyfield, unlike when we had a lot of the other big fighters that have fought in Las Vegas, it is the mega. I mean, everybody in the world of media is here in Las Vegas, Big C, and I do want to give a shout out to someone who gave me some help with some insurance matters, Destina Perez out of Sacramento, California. So thank you so much for that. Make sure I want people to know about that. And also, Big C, the thing that I see in American sports, and we always talk about sports will bring our society closer together more than politics and definitely more than religion. There's some things going on in Las Vegas where money gets out. I guess he had more crowd favor for McGregor because a lot of people came in from Ireland, and there's a large white contingent in Las Vegas also. And it's almost taken on that white-black thing more than it is the fight thing. And I think that could be a dangerous thing outside of the ring because there's a lot of people that we just got out of this neo-Nazi garbage. Well, we didn't even know that they really existed in the United States, but they're still there. It's like most of them have come out of hiding since Donald Trump's been in office. And how do I equate that to this fight? This is really not about who's going to win the fight. This is almost like, could you imagine someone saying, LeBron James, I'm going to beat you at basketball one-on-one. Never played basketball before, but I'm going to beat you on an NBA court one-on-one, and you're going to fall down and blah, blah, blah. That's what it feels like. Would you really have a chance against LeBron James? And when you look at the record, Ford's 49-0. He's never lost. McGregor's lost 3 times. I think 4 because Diaz beat him twice. But I don't think people are showing up to see a fight because there's really no reason for them to fight, like you just mentioned. This is it's a racial thing going on, and there's still an undercurrent. No one wants to talk about it, but Big C, I feel that more so than who wants to see a fight. Big C, your thoughts? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
using all these racial epithets and profanity. But this has been McGregor's MO. I mean, when you talk about a street, this is what society's always labeled African American.
Yeah.
Street stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a white trash talking at his best.
Yeah.
When you realistically look at it, if you were to take him and change his shade,
Yeah.
you get nothing but negative outlines from the media.
And I know that.
Would beat him down and berate him for the profanity-laden tirades that he spills every time that he's on the mic.
Yeah.
But, because he's white, they say, oh, well, it's just the mood of things, it's just him expressing himself. It's amazing when it comes out of a certain color of a mouth.
Yeah.
What it's related as.
Yeah.
It's like with Kaepernick. He said nothing negative.
No.
He didn't beat up a woman.
Nope.
He didn't commit manslaughter. He didn't get beat up. He didn't beat a kid. He didn't do any of these things.
No.
He doesn't have a criminal rap. Yet he doesn't have a NFL job. But if he'd have had those profanity-laden tirades when he was doing his stance against violence,
Yeah.
he would have an NFL job today, Jonathan.
Yeah, well, Big C, something that I noticed, and I do want to say, we talked about it before, and of course, I've seen him for years. He's been in the business for about 40 years, a lot like yourself, Teddy Atlas, and he's just a great commentator, and he's so honest. He happens to be a Caucasian man, but he's so honest, and I say that for this fact that so many people get on TV and radio, and you don't know what they believe, because they're for one person and one day, and the next day they change their tune, a lot like what Donald Trump does. He lies so much, you don't know what to believe. And so a lot of even sports guys have that. But what I love about being down here, you have it's kind of who is who in the world of sports is in Las Vegas. And it's for the fight, obviously, but there's something going on outside of this fight that's not about the boxing in itself. When I hear grown men asking, so did he cuss out, did you think the racial, did he use any racial epithets, or do you think he's a racist, or do you think that Conor McGregor kind of went below the belt, or you think he's going to headbutt, or you think he's going to try to throw a kick upside the head? It's not because they're appreciating the greatness of the fight. Now, John Jones and Cormier, those were two UFC fighters that really had the right to be in the ring. And people talked about their skills. And that was a great fight, even though we had the information that one guy had some stuff in his system that shouldn't have had it. I can't testify, but obviously he's had some issues with that, and that's in Jones. But in this fight here, and if you listen to some of the commentators, they're not asking about who's the best southpaw, who has the best foot movement, who has the best hand-eye coordination. Outside of Teddy Atlas, everybody else is pretty much trying to say, do you think he's racist, or is there a racial connotation going on behind that? Big C, I think that's dangerous, and I've always said there'll be more fights in the audience and outside of the ring than there will be in the ring. I think a lot of people who know the fight game, they're just like the same question when they're supposed to be. Could a novice go into a basketball court and beat LeBron James one-on-one? Big C, your thoughts? Yeah. The top down. Yeah.
Even look at ESPN. ESPN took a broadcast off a game because his name was Robert E. Lee on a Virginia game this week. It's meaningless.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to have 2,000 viewers watching that game. They're both going to come, and all 2,000 going to come from the University of Virginia.
Yeah.
Two of them going to come from William and Mary.
Yeah.
But they took a guy off the game named Robert E. Lee. Now, this guy is Asian descent.
Yeah.
He has nothing to do with slavery other than on the other side of it.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how sensitive ESPN is. They're sitting there, they say, well, if we're going to offend somebody that's white, we don't want to put it on a broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we've had situations throughout society, but now that, even broadcast companies are saying he's using the racial language.
Yeah.
ESPN, the number one name in broadcasting, using racial language.
Yeah.
To take a guy off of a broadcast, there's no wonder when they get paid attention to his name, Jonathan, because you're tuning into a football game to watch the football game.
Yeah.
The announcers are broadcast at the beginning of the game, maybe the game. That's not the interest of the fan.
Yeah.
ESPN is saying that the fan is stupid and subliminal because they're going to remove a guy off the game because of his name.
Yeah. And that's something that I think a lot of the network people, this is one of the rare fights where they did not talk about who they've beaten. Obviously, they don't have anyone in common to talk about. But normally when you have a fight whether it was back in the day when Ali was fighting, he was fighting, he's fighting Holmes, or he was fighting Norton, or if he had the fight against, obviously the fight at the Madison Square Garden, where a lot of people love that fight with Joe Frazier. You had the chance to compare different fights. Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson, they were comparing the past fighters that they fought and what those fights were like, and who won what round, and whether it was Horn and also Pacquiao down in Australia. They talked about the common opponents. They talked about where the common opponents came from. And with McGregor, it shows that America loves a train wreck. They love the racial enmity that goes on in our country, even though they want to say they don't. But they have nothing in common in the ring, so they're going to bring up what kind of words did he use? Did he use a cuss word? Did he say something about your mom or your race? And I think that's bad for the sport, because this can be a beautiful thing with the UFC and boxing coming together. But because there's so little research done in history, outside of Teddy Atlas, I hardly hear anybody talking about who they fought in the past and what rounds they won against the guys they fought in the past, and how they're going to approach this fight. It's always about, is he going to head kick him? Is he going to choke him out? Is he willing to lose $90 million by doing something stupid? Big C, your thoughts? Yeah. 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 He gave up. He submitted. Yeah. Yeah. 96. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll say Teddy Atlas has. He's pretty much the only. I mean, a lot of people try to follow in his shadow. Yeah, yeah. They don't need him. Yeah. No. Yeah, yeah. 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 It was sweaty out here. Yeah. 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 And a reporter would come in the locker room, and I still hear these same dumb questions 30 years later on the sideline. Well, what do you feel was the difference? I can't get what? Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. One of the crazy, and of course we could all say things that don't make sense, but they're bringing us so many people who are, number one, they're not radio and TV people. They're just a sidekick that they want to get their opinion. I've heard someone, that's the circus down that's going, but I heard someone say, one of the commentators for one of the Fox programs says, well, don't you think, look, who won the pre-fight? Who won the weigh-in? Like, you don't make money for weighing in. And they were asking, well, who seemed more confident during the weigh-in? I've never known a boxer to win a fight with the weigh-in. The weigh-in is just the weigh-in. That's all it is. But because McGregor's kind of from the gutter, and he has that gutter mentality, and he's going to get up and scream and yell, but you don't score points in the boxing ring doing that. And Floyd Mayweather showed his excellence for something. No matter who wins this fight, because I still think it's always staged, but Mayweather said something that's so honest. He said, I do my fighting in the ring. There was a reporter asked him, so what do you think about the weigh-in, and what did he say to you? Did he get you out? Did you get you rattled and all that garbage? He said, I do my fighting in the ring. That's how I'm 49-0. I don't fight outside the ring. I'm a professional. And I thought that was so classy. He didn't call me you blankety blank and you MF this and you blankety blank that. And McGregor, because he's from the gutter, he couldn't help himself. I think that's bad for TV. Big C, your thoughts? Yeah. 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 That's funny. Yeah. 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 Oh, you should hear. Yeah, and you should hear. Yeah. 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 Yeah, and there's a lot of other companies following, and the shame in that is because the fight business, these are two different things. This is a guy, boxing is a skill. I've boxed before, I've done some of the MMA stuff and the martial arts. Boxing is a skill. You can take the toughest guy in a street fight, put him in the ring, he'll get knocked out because it's about your skill level, not how much you can cuss somebody out and call them an MF this and a blankety blank that. And I just think that's a shame that people want to know who won the shouting match. This is not about, it's about skill. So of all the broadcasters that I've heard, and there's a lot of good ones that I like, but the one that should get the Golden Glove of broadcast and analyzing is Teddy Atlas, because he's honest. Irrespective of what happens in this fight, he knows what he's talking about, and I'd rather hear him talk as opposed to listening to the programming all throughout the day, who cussed out who the most, who had the most discrimination words, or who spent more time in a nightclub. He breaks down fighters, their weaknesses, and their skills. And just like a guy trying to fight or beat a LeBron James a one-on-one basketball court, and you've never played NBA basketball? Oh, I was good at my high school, so now you're going to beat LeBron James one-on-one. Are you serious? Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of that going on down here, Big C. You didn't hear from me, though, okay? Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. 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 Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, Big C, let me just get this in. I want to say that sports is a billion-dollar industry, and boys and girls sports is the foundation to this billion-dollar industry. And we work with Ben and Mark. They've been around for half a century. They work with pro athletes, collegiate athletes, your high school athletes, even your mom and pop soccer leagues. And they work with Big C Sports. If you reach out to them, let them know that Big C sent you. Big C, I want to just say something that's going on, too. I remember back in the day when Tyson had his fights in Vegas, and there was always a lot of energy in Vegas, and I think this time I see more energy outside of the ring because there's a lot of tension down here with booze and it's hot, and this is undercurrent thing going on. I can't really put my finger on it, but you know how sometimes your intuition's up and you can feel something. You can feel things are going on that no one can really see because they're just kind of too drunk, Big C. But something's going on, and I hope everything is safe. I hope they have really good security, and a lot of it's undercover security. But there's a lot of people that came here for trouble. They didn't come here to see a fight. They came here to get in trouble, and I hope that doesn't happen in Vegas because it's too classy of a city for that. But if you listen to some of the crowds talking and some of the behavior that's going on, if it was a larger black contingent, I think there'd be heavier law enforcement around here, but it's not. So it's a lot like the South Carolina thing. It's not as prominent. There's still a lot of undercover here. I just hope that people keep their cool. At the same time, you know, you put a lot of drunk people around an environment that has a racial tinge to it, and what else can you expect? But I do want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think that's something that's overstated, or should more people pay attention to that fact? Big C, your thoughts? Yeah. I give fist pumps. I don't shake hands, Big Z. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So many people have been negative on Mayweather, just like they were with Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
He's been so dominant for so long, because people are sitting around just hoping that somebody beats you.
Yeah.
You know, if they treated Mayweather like they treat Tom Brady, nobody's sitting around hoping Tom Brady falls off his pedestal.
Exactly.
Every time you don't even put a jock on it, it's Brady. Okay?
Yeah.
The greatest quarterback of all time, even when he's not playing, this is what you hear.
Yeah.
We don't get that same language about Mayweather.
Well.
Boxer of all time, 49-0.
Yeah. Well, Big C.
We don't get that type of language. We get the language of America. Well, we need somebody to shut his mouth.
Yeah.
Just like we heard about the great late Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to shut his mouth. Somebody needs to shut his mouth. Why is it always the black man that needs to be shut up? Nobody is saying somebody needs to shut the greatest mouth. Think about that.
Yeah.
In the media. And this is the same media that is over the decades. Nobody is saying the greatest should shut his mouth, even with all the profanity.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's very true, Big C. I do want to thank the Bellagio Hotel. It's a gorgeous place here, especially the chocolate fountain. Go get dipped in chocolate. It looks a lot like the complexion of me, Big C. So I thought I was looking at myself in the mirror. They say, hey, get your hand out of that chocolate. I thought, you know, sometimes you want to put your hand on something. They say, you can't do that. But I thought I learned the hard way, Big C. But obviously, I just want to bring on something. Now, I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. People do what they want to do. There are people who lie. There are people who tell the truth. I want to ask you why and I know you never come to Las Vegas. You and Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, all those good old boys, they never come out here. I think it was the Rat Pack back in the day when they came out from L.A., those movie stars. There's so much candy in Las Vegas, okay? And I'm sure everyone is here is married, right? Because they act like it. So I just want, and I'm just, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I'm like, how'd you get that suntan and not cover that? How'd you get that suntan missing that little spot on your finger, man? There's a lot of people. I'm not saying. I just want to bring up the contrast. And we know the oldest business in the world. Grown people do what they want to do. But I remember you brought up Tiger Woods earlier. How he was so chastised for having what was called extramarital affairs. I didn't see any of them, but that's what a lot of athletes and rich people do, and movie stars. That's just a fact. That's part of the business. But to have so much of what, and I don't see it in Las Vegas, right? Okay, everybody here married, right? Sometimes people walk around 4 or 5 married. I just think it's so funny that our society is such a, we like to lie so much that we see, I can't believe Tiger Woods was caught up in infidelity. We go back to presidents that had all that garbage. Everybody does what they want to do. But down here in Las Vegas, it's like celebrated, Big C.
We had the greatest president of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, and I want to get your thought on this because, and it's not just men. Let's just keep this. Just be real. There's a lot of people down here that look like they got 4 or 5 husbands they're walking around with too. Okay, because I know why they call it Sin City, but tell me the appeal, and I know the appeal because it's exciting. But the appeal of Las Vegas that everybody in mainstreams pretends that it doesn't really exist. Big C, your thoughts? Yeah. 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 And, yeah. 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 No pun intended, right? Well, I'm going to tell you. Yeah. 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 I think she's at the Bellagio. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a funny thing there. And as you know, I'm a clean freak. I don't even like the handshake. I like to do a fist pump. But sometimes they put all these people in the pools, and people coming from all over the world, and I don't know how much chlorine it's going to take to kill what some people are bringing in. But I like to get my own sauna in my jacuzzi. That's a swimming I like to do when I'm here in Big C. But I know everybody gets a little drunk and they have a little fun, and it's definitely, I would say, the entertainment capital of the world. One thing about Vegas, they do everything right. I do want to pay homage to something that Floyd said the other day. He said that he wants to thank the MGM. They've always treated him like royalty. They've always treated him first class. You know, there's a lot of stories when Don King used to come out here in Vegas, and all the fighters, that whatever they want, and you use your imagination, they had access to it, carte blanche, and that's part of why people come here. I just think it's a shame that Tiger Woods lost about $100 million for people who love this area and what people do here, and they accused him of doing the same thing, but he had to lose money. There's so many Caucasians and Europeans down here, and I'm sure when they get back on the plane, they might have more luggage going back home with them than they brought. Things just a thought. Read between the line. But it's a great city. I just want to get your thoughts on one of your more enjoyable times here in Las Vegas, and we'll close out in a little bit. Big C, your thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. You can't confirm or deny, right, Big C? Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's the thing, you know, hopefully they'll sell it out
Oh, yeah.
for that. But, you know, when you look at all the energy and the noise that's going to be created, you know, I mean, I look at the weigh-ins, you know, the press conferences that they had, they've been sellouts for those events.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't have any doubt that the fight will be a sellout.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, the fight is going to live up to the hype, Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be electrifying. It's not going to be a dog match.
No.
It's going to be McGregor going after him. Because he has to.
Yeah,
Because McGregor knows that he doesn't want to get to round 7 and 8.
yeah.
Honestly doesn't.
Well,
He needs to do better than 99% of those broadcasters that's not.
yeah, yeah.
Not going to happen.
That's true, Big C.
What it's like going out there and your legs to start to get on.
Yeah.
When that hamstring, you know, starts to
Yeah.
that quad is a little weak, a little pushy.
Yep.
About that, Joe.
No, I understand.
That lung is starting to burn. That's hard on you.
And not just from the desert heat, but obviously, last thing, Big C, then we'll close it out. You know, no matter who wins this fight, I so love being a part of the sports world. I love being part of the sporting business. We've said it so many times that sports will bring our society together more than politics, definitely more than religion. So many different people here in Las Vegas, different colors, different groups, different everything. Just be careful not to get married, because sometimes you wake up with someone, you know, who are you? I'm your husband. I'm your wife. So be careful when you're out having a good time. Make sure if you're going to go out and drink, and a lot of people do, don't drive. You can Uber, you can walk, you can take a taxi, whatever it is. Big C, I love the state of Nevada. I love the city of Las Vegas. I love the fight business, and I love so many things about it, and that's why so many people from all over the world come here. Big C, back in the day, there was a man by the name of Drew Bondini Brown. He was Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He had a slogan called Rumble, Young Man Rumble. Big C, what are you looking forward to in the sports universe? Yeah. 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 And we're having a little bit of trouble with your microphone, Big C, but go right ahead. We'll let you close out. Make that statement one more time, Big C. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true, Big Z. So we all know all's fair in love and war. No matter what happens in the fight coming up Saturday, I hope that everyone has a great time here in the city of Las Vegas. And as we always say, every Monday through Friday at 5 and 6 p.m. worldwide, follow Big C Sports on the Big C Sports Network, the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C and the good old boys down south. I want to say there's never, ever any reason to put your hands on a woman. No woman should ever have to go through that garbage. If you know anyone in trouble, just call 911, because you won't have to go through it on her own. And as we always tell you, on every Big C Sports show, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we hope that you have a super fantastic day.